With players like CMC on my team, I can't lose.
This is a safe place for tough love.
Digging into the data.
3 pancakes. Hold the syrup.
Who's gonna win?
I am.
Oh!
Jeff, you know what time it is?
No, what time is it, Jer?
Man, I think we're really late for breakfast time.
Yeah, but you know what? Any time can be breakfast time.
All right.
It's breakfast time.
Guys, I don't know what to say. I'm so ashamed of myself. You know, I call myself a host. Host of what? You know? I don't know. I'm sorry. All right, I don't know what else we can say. I think we just needed a mental health break, and I don't think my mental health is any better now than it was then. But we wouldn't be able to forgive ourselves if we didn't come back, you know, and kind of do our best Phillip Rivers impression, right? And you know, it's been a while, and yeah, we're going to be rusty, but we're going to give it a college try.
Yeah, late is never too late.
That's right.
We're excited to come back. We wanted to especially honor the finalists, the bottom finalists, the King and the Vet. I'm sure this is a place they didn't expect to be. But here they find themselves, and we want to honor them in this last battle. And so that's what this episode is going to be about. We're not really going to talk about previous matches last week or the last 8-9 weeks. We're going to focus on David and Andrew. We've got some interesting stats, analyzing some past trades, looking at their record over the year. And I think it's going to be illuminating. And I think it's also going to make a difference for how this next week turns out, depending on how much Andrew and David listen to us.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited to hear some of these stats. I know you've always been the numbers guy, and I'm just going to be honest, guys. I haven't had much time to look at any stats this week at all. I've just been busy with a lot of stuff going on, but I'm going to refer to Jeff for his expertise, and I'm going to lean on him heavily.
But that's why we work so well together, Jer. I can sometimes get I can mine it and get the raw data.
Yeah.
But you really can take that and piece together a narrative and find those trends that, actually become beneficial to the listeners. It's been a minute since we've done the pancake meter, so maybe we can update the listeners on that.
Let's do that. You know what? If you don't mind, Jeff, I can do that.
Feel free.
Okay. So, guys, the last time we did the pancake meter was week 4. And believe it or not, the lowest score on the pancake meter at 0.5 pancakes was the Vet.
No.
That is shocking. The Vet moves from 0.5 pancakes to 8.5 pancakes, meaning he is very, very likely to be eating a lot of pancakes in the new year. The shoe-in was at 0.75. He moves to 0. The host, 2.5. He moves to 0. The champ.
That's me.
That's you, Jeff. 0.25 to 0. And if we done this last week, Jeff would have been at probably, 5 to 7 range. But kudos to you, Jeff. You never, ever, ever gave up.
Not once.
You looked your opponent in the face and you kicked him in the teeth and you knocked his teeth in. And if I am correct, I think that was the highest score ever scored.
Yeah.
Season long.
Yeah.
Put Jeff, you put him in a toilet bowl matchup, he's not gonna go down easy.
You know what? Obviously, I'm a part of this podcast, so I take our advice seriously. And one thing I've learned from the hosts is you got to store up that dewness for when it matters.
Yeah.
And I've been storing it up all year.
Yeah.
And I blew all that in David's face.
You know what? You blew it all in his face, and now he's still cleaning up the mess, trying to get ready for the next week. Okay. So, yes, the champ, 2.5 to 0. The king, 3.5. He moves to a dramatic 9.999, which is a number I have not said in a long time. But that's where the king is at. And
Why is he so much higher than Andrew, who has 8.5 pancakes?
you know what? Jeff, I'll pull this up now. I am a little bit of a stats guy when I need to be, and when you look in the sleeper projections right now, the vet's looking at it. Projected points about 127 points. That's kind of, it's a loose projection. The king right now is looking at 52 points on the week.
Oh my goodness!
Which would be similar to one of his past weeks that he's had. He's had a couple low weeks, but still, it's a little low for the season. So if we dig a little deeper into that, you'll see that the reason David's actually low is he's not planning on starting many players this week. And I want to say, David, I know when you feel like you've been beat up, kicked down, you want to give up, okay? But please, David, I would suggest starting a kicker. I would suggest starting a quarterback. I think having wide receivers on your team this week is going to be crucial, and that might actually change things for you. But as of now, David is at a 9.9999.
Wow.
The Titan.
The Rook, actually.
Oh, sorry, the Rook. From 4.5 pancakes week 4 to 0. The Titans, 4.5 to 0. The Bear at 5. I've been really impressed with the Bear. Seeing his, he had highs, he had lows, and then right when it mattered, he surged. And he put up enough points to keep him out of the lower bracket. Kudos to you, Jeff K. What a year. Things were looking rough at one point, and you turned it around. Kudos to you. The Prophet, Mr. Chris, 5.5 to 0. Again, same story. There was a rough patch at the beginning, and then Chris turned it on, and now he's a powerhouse. And is he in the playoffs still, Jeff?
He actually got a bye week.
Oh my gosh.
And you know what?
Oh my gosh.
There have been some murmurs and some mumblings and some words behind backs that the Prophet is a fraud. This week we'll only tell. A bit of a Elijah situation. Let's my prophet versus your prophet. Which one's gonna which one's the real deal? We're gonna find out. We're gonna see. Chris is gonna try and show up all those naysayers.
Okay, let's find out if this holy water he's been selling us is actually any good. All right, the Gambler at 6. And you know what? That was a good projection. And last week he would have been at a 6-2. But again, Cam squeaked out a win there. That was quite the semifinal for the lower bracket. That's exactly what we're looking for. We're looking for that Monday night nail biter.
Exactly.
All eyes on Jalen Warren. I don't think anyone has really had that much focus and attention as he did this week by all of us as league members. And that, Andrew, is pain. That's fantasy pain. To see Jonnu Smith vulturing goal line touches, it's you're one coach decision away from eating so many pancakes you're going to vomit or being clear. It can happen like that, and unfortunately the knife turned one way this week, and we'll see what happens for you on this finals.
Yeah.
That wraps up our pancake meter. So a lot of zeros, and then we got an 8.5 for the vet and 9.999 for the king.
Wow. Thank you, Jer. as we said before, this is kind of a week focusing on the bottom finalists. The vet, Andrew Doomering, and the king, David DeVries. So I thought, hey, how did we get here? We know they're here in the bottom finals. How did they wind up like this? And so I kind of just did a trip down memory lane and just looked what their record was week by week. And like Jer mentioned, Andrew Doomering started off hot with a 4-0 start. And then as soon as we stopped doing the podcast at week 4, Andrew went on a 1-7 losing streak.
Oh my gosh.
And he never really fully recovered. And that's how we ended up here. I remember at that time thinking Andrew Doomering cannot fail. And looks like he needed us.
You know what? It's one thing to feel like you're doing something important. And even to believe it. And I think we were both there. We both knew that what we were doing, the weekly advice, the start sits, the projections, the injury reports, that it mattered, that we mattered. And now we have data to prove it. We have the hard numbers.
Yeah, we do.
And I feel responsible that Andrew is where he is today. I didn't realize that the good work that we were doing really made the difference for him. And so, Andrew, I want to apologize for our failure to give you the weekly advice that you were relying on.
Yeah.
And I want to say that it'll never happen again. I can't say that, but we're here for you now. And so I want to encourage you, listen closely. Please listen closely.
Yeah.
Because this podcast could be what saves you in these finals.
Well said. David, David and Andrew both started out the year with a win. And obviously Andrew started out 4-0 and you think, "Oh, I'm good. I'm going to make the upper playoffs." That's not always the case. And same can be said the other way. You can start off poorly and end up in the finals. David started off with a win, and then it was just, 2 steps back, 1 step forward, again and again and again. And by that time, you're way back in line. He and Andrew both ended with a 6-9 record. And unfortunately, David also holds the title for the lowest scoring week of this year with 57.62 points.
Yikes.
And so I looked at that week. I was like, what happened there?
What went wrong?
Well, let me just tell you this. His bench outscored his whole roster.
Okay, what week was that?
That, I believe, was week 7 for David.
Oh my god.
So David had the lowest scoring week. Guess who had the second lowest scoring week?
David again?
No, Andrew Doomering. With 65 points. So we've seen both teams at their lowest. However, Andrew and David head to head, they've both won one and lost one against each other. This really is going to be the ultimate showdown between these two.
This is the rubber match. This is when it really matters. Wow.
So that's kind of an overview over how we got here and the state of it. David, the king. We crowned him the king, but is he just the king of the toilet bowl? Andrew Doomering, the vet.
Yeah.
Is it time he hangs up his laces?
Oh man, that. This week will tell. We're gonna find out. I think what the best thing that we can do is to give them maybe some serviceable advice. We could take a look at their lineups, maybe.
Sure.
Andrew, as far as accuracy with starting, your lineups this year, you've actually had a pretty good percentage.
91.4%.
That is above average. What is that? That's what everyone's kind of around. Everyone's hovering between 88 and 92.8. So you're right in the middle. There's nothing shocking about that percentage. But what it also tells me is maybe there wasn't enough dramatic movement mid-season. If you're not getting quality guys on your bench and you're just starting the same good guys, but there's never those tough start sits, it might look great to have 91.4% accuracy, but it might not be enough. I think Lamar Jackson, that was...
What do you do with him this week? Do you sit Lamar? He's against New England, who's a great team. But Lamar, the past 5 weeks, went 6 points, 7 points, 7 points, 22 down to 15.
Well, when you look at the waivers right now, the goalie, the QBs that are actually available out there, there's not a lot. There's not a lot of great ones.
I'm seeing a Bo Nix. I'm seeing a Mariota. Now, this is interesting because...
Jordan Love's available.
Yeah, Andrew Dumering has Terry McLaurin on his team. Do you go for the Terry Mariota stack? Because here's the thing, Mariota, he slings it. He's a bit of a dark horse, I think. Or do you just go tried and true with Lamar, but he might just let you down when you need it the most?
I think to be honest, I think I'd be a little terrified to start Mariota. And the only reason I'm saying that is I'm a Dolphins fan, okay?
Okay.
I know what a Hawaiian quarterback looks like. I know their highs and I know their lows. And yeah, you could get a great week. But there's some weeks that they'll crush you. I don't trust Hawaiian quarterbacks. I never have, never will. And I would suggest not starting Mariota. That's just my 2 cents. Jeff, do you disagree?
Well, I was like, I kind of like that idea. And then I saw it was against Philadelphia. And then I was like, okay, wait, no. Never mind. They're going to get crushed.
I don't know. I still, if it was me, I honestly think I would probably want to start at least 2 of these quarterbacks on waivers over Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
It'd probably be Jordan Love and Bo Nix. I don't know. I think they have the ceiling. I don't know why sleepers saying Aaron Rodgers is going to be great. I don't think I'd want to start Aaron Rodgers, but
he had a great week last week. But all right, let's look at the other side of the tape.
Okay.
David DeVries. Obviously, you had a big recommendation to start your team.
Yep.
He's missing quite a few players. Let's talk about the quarterback situation. Okay, he's got Stafford against Seattle or Burrow against Miami. I think usually, sleepers saying Burrow, but Burrow's been pretty sad.
He's a sad Burrow.
He's a sad Burrow.
Sad Burrow is not a Burrow you want to start. I feel very strongly you should not start sad Burrow.
Yeah, he's thrown 2 picks in the last 2 games. Each game.
I don't know if he's going to be a Bengal next year. I don't know. I think this might be Andrew Luck 2.0, and he's done with football altogether. I will say I feel very strongly about Matt Stafford getting in your lineup, David. And it's not about the stats. It's not about the projections. It's about Thursday Night Football. When you get an opportunity in the finals to start players on Thursday Night Football, it could be the toilet bowl or it could be the biggest showdown ever in the finals. You do it.
And he felt that firsthand last week. I saw Kyle Pitts was on the waivers. I picked him up because I knew he was playing Thursday night.
You got to get those Thursday night players in.
I had 3 Thursday night players. I should have put in my 4th because he did great as well. And that Thursday night, completely, I'm assuming, David, I don't want to put words in your mouth, wreaked havoc upon David for that whole weekend. We know this is more than just a points game. This is also a mental game.
Mm-hmm.
Get those points in Thursday and make Andrew have to really decide about going boom or bust with some of these hard decisions with his lineup.
Information is power, and you are getting more information for your own team too.
Yeah.
It's going to help you with your other start sits. So definitely get Stafford in there. Do not start Burrow, okay? I'm telling you, there's no way Burrow outscores Stafford, and Thursday Night Football, watching your players play, nothing beats it. Nothing's better. This is why we do it. It's what we live for.
Yeah.
Don't miss out on it for just a measly 1 o'clock Sunday game
100%.
where he's just going to get lost in the mix.
Yeah. Well, that's our recommendations for some roster adjustments with your team. I want to. I looked into the injury report that we've been putting out the first few weeks, and I've since looked at injuries that have happened since then. Injuries are a part of fantasy football. We know it.
Yeah.
We talked about it, and we hear about it a lot, especially from the loser bracket.
Mm-hmm.
And so I want to kind of just jot down some key players that Andrew Dumring and David DeVries have lost. Beginning with David, George Kittle. I think he was pick 3 for David in the draft. Mm-hmm. He gets injured week 1.
That hurts.
Welcome to fantasy football.
Yeah.
He's out for 6 weeks. Malik Neighbors. I haven't said that name in a long time.
I almost forgot about him.
Yeah. Week 4. Injured and out.
Broken toe, was it?
I think it was something with his shoulder. Or ACL.
ACL.
I think it was ACL. Scadaboo. I forget what week it was, but he's been out probably for half the season at least. T. Higgins has missed 2 weeks for concussions. Hopefully he's back this week for David. Andrew Dumring. Lamar Jackson's had 3 weeks injured. Garrett Wilson injured and out for the rest of the year.
And I'm going to make a little note on Lamar Jackson.
Sure.
This is, missing 3 weeks. It doesn't seem terrible. I actually think whatever happened to Lamar Jackson he's still dealing with it. They're giving him rest days every week. It's nagging him still. They have not looked the same. This is not the normal Lamar Jackson.
No.
It's almost worse to have him because then you're going to start him. He's Lamar Jackson. You drafted him high.
Yeah.
But you're not getting 100% Lamar Jackson. You're getting like 70%. I don't know. We don't know what it is, but something's going on with him. And I think this is a nagging thing that's just like stretching out.
Last year, he was always a surefire QB1, QB2, QB3, getting so many points. This time around, since injury, it's like 1 out of 4 games he's going to do really good.
Yeah.
And then the others, it's going to be average or bad. Garrett Wilson, injured and out. And Amon-Ra missed a week. Puka missed 2 weeks. So not as much, but we have seen David miss some key players, especially permanently. And that is sometimes that's what gets you there in the bottom. But I know week 4 when Malik Neighbors went down, you had some wise words for David. And so I'm just going to play those right now.
Okay. You know what? You had an uphill battle. We knew you had an uphill battle. And you didn't quite make the right choices. Now, I'm not pretending to say I knew what all the right choices were for you, David, but you didn't make them. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. I will say this, just so that you can feel seen and heard. I do think that David has had the worst luck this year. When it comes to his team, his injuries, you got the shit end of the stick.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Like we don't all get the same cards dealt to us. And it sucks, but it is what it is,
You can't change the past. You can only control the now, the present.
And so now all you can do is start a full roster and hope for the best.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I want to take some time to analyze one of David's trades that he made. I don't think Andrew Duminger really made a significant trade this year. Not one that comes to mind. But I know the Saquon trade was a big talk of the town, especially when it happened.
Yep.
It was Saquon from the Bear for Devontae Adams and Montgomery from David. So David acquired Saquon Barkley, and I remember at the time thinking, this is a steal.
Yeah, we poo-pooed it big time, didn't we?
We poo-pooed it big time. And now looking back, okay, maybe the Bear knew something we didn't, and clearly he did.
Yeah.
However, I analyzed the data for this. Saquon averaged since week 4, since the trade happened, he averaged 14.5 points per game.
Okay.
Devontae Adams averaged around 16 points a game. Obviously, that's good. You want more points. Devontae Adams is good. Montgomery, I didn't really take into consideration very much. He had some boom weeks, but you can't really trust him very often.
Yeah.
And gaining an extra roster spot can be pretty valuable to fill in with someone else for David. So with Devontae having a point and a half extra per game, I was like, all right, how per week does that actually make a difference? Because it's not just about total points per week. What if he still had Devontae Adams in Montgomery? And so I looked at every single week 5 through week 14, and it actually wouldn't have made a single difference. The weeks where Devontae Adams did much better than Saquon and Montgomery did way better, it still actually wouldn't have turned David's losses into wins. There was one week, week 14, where David played against Jeff K, the Bear.
Yeah.
And if David had not had made that trade, he would have lost. Because that was the one week Saquon did way better than Devontae and David Montgomery combined.
So wait, if he had not made the trade, he would have lost?
He would have lost that week.
Instead of won.
Exactly.
So it was still good for 1 week. They gave him the win.
Yes.
Okay.
Obviously, total points.
Yeah.
A little bit lower. But sometimes you can look back and think, I shouldn't have made that trade. It actually didn't make the difference week to week.
Yeah. But I will say, although it may have been a waste of time, David is a hustler, and he was making trades. And even when people were, trying to call him out and, inferring things that should not have been inferred, it didn't stop David. And he's still active. He's scrappy.
He's hustling, and he doesn't give up. Malik Neighbors goes down, and he's like, I gotta make some moves.
He's always been that way, hasn't he?
And I think that's what gives him a bit of an edge for this week.
I know.
People are counting him out. How do you face Puka and Amon-Ra? But this is the king that we're talking about. Gee, dang it.
There's a reason he was anointed with oil.
Is this his time?
Wow.
Or is the vet going to put him in his place?
I want to just give him a big hug and tell him I'm proud of him and kiss him on the forehead and just smell that sweet olive oil still perfuming upon his brow. He is anointed. He is the king. So well said, Jeff.
Yeah.
Don't forget that, David.
Do you have any encouraging words for the vet as we near the end of this show?
I think, again, it comes to the same thing. There's a reason you're the vet. You've been through highs. You've been through lows. You've felt heartbreak. You've felt the ecstasy and joy of winning. This is not new territory for you, Andrew. And you need to trust what you've always been best at. Instincts. Gut instincts. And when it comes to the start sits this week and I look at your bench, it's not always easy. Is Brian Thomas going to be on your bench when these games go down? Or is he going to be in your lineup? I don't know. I can't tell you what to do. There's a certain point where you need to trust that you are a vet, trust your instincts, and just play free and have fun. And no, this is a game you've been playing for years. And I think you play it best when you are, just eyes wide open, heart wide open, all in. Don't overthink it.
Gentlemen, this is the time to not hold back. I know you have compassion for the other as fellow Colts fans.
Whoa. What a spin, Jeff. I didn't realize that.
Exactly. But this is not the time to take it easy on each other when pancakes are on the line.
That's right.
I'm sure it's going to be tough for David to root against Tyler Warren.
Oh, wow.
And, maybe David does something totally unexpected and he takes Uncle Rivers just to twist the knife in Andrew's back.
You know what? That would be something, wouldn't it? I guess time will tell, but we will find out who truly has that horseshoe up their ass and ready to win.
Who has that lucky charm?
Yeah. They're both Colts fans. We'll see. We will see. Man, whatever it takes to win.
Wow.
That's what you got to do. Just a quick anecdote, little bit of housekeeping here. For both David and Andrew, I know I put in the chat. I haven't been on the chat lately. I haven't had time to see the chat lately. If you could put in your January date for the Pancake House, it's Denny's. It's on Woodlawn and Guelph. Let us know what day you plan on being there if you lose. And we will book it in our calendars. And as a league, we want to be there and support you. They're open 24 hours from Friday to Sunday. So you can start anytime after midnight on a Friday. And we will be there Saturday morning.
And this is not a time where we make fun of the fallen.
No.
This is a time where we honor and truly support and talk about memories, and it's going to be a happy time. Not going to be,
And I will say this, this wasn't a part of the original agreement, so you can rebuttal this if you feel like it's necessary, Jeff.
Okay.
As one of the league commissioners and founders. If someone is willing to welcome their league mates to their table, and I know there's a lot of shame in that, okay? I know that's hard to do. But if you're willing to welcome us to your table, I think it's only fair to say we can bear a part of the burden for you. And I think a single bite of a pancake, a shared communal league pancake to help lighten the load on your belly, I think a single bite per member being there, I think that's reasonable.
I hear that and I approve that. I think sometimes it can be tough to invite people into an area where you feel you are weak and you are ashamed, but bring people bring other people in, and it can actually help you overcome that giant hurdle of pancakes.
Yep. And as much as you don't want to think that's going to be you, Andrew, and David, it is going to be one of you. So I think there is a part of your brain that has to start thinking. That might be me. That could be me. So, yeah. We will be back, guys. Once we wrap up the season, we're going to do Jeff's got some more data mining. We got an awards, a podcast awards.
Yeah.
Some league awards that we want to hand out.
Yep.
And some other good stuff. Just kind of looking ahead to next year, and by that time we'll know who won, who lost, and so much is going to happen. This is the biggest week.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
This is a big moment, the calm before the storm. All eyes will be on these two and their matchup, and we wish you both the best of luck.